喂，嘿，
嚟啊
，Hello，各位觀眾大家好。Hello，各位觀眾大家好，我係火柴人Ex改Sp Studio， 歡迎嚟到 Press Square。繼續啦，哈哈。
Hello， 又歡迎返到老面 Minecraft YouTube Channel 啊。
係咯，跟住繼續。美琴。
Hello， 大家好啊，係。
你係？
我係。
Misaka Makoto。
Misaka Mikoto 啊。
唔緊要。
Misaka Mikoto。
總之預版美琴係咪？總之叫佢美琴就得㗎啦，係啦。
嗱，下低
冇人識嘅
咧有我 YouTube channel。
使唔使咁早就 sell 你個 YouTube channel 啊，大佬？
喂，先撳咗我先。唔
係。
先撳咗我先。
得啦，呢段。
緊要你撳呢個先都得㗎。
得啦，呢段。
你跟住就叫你啲 friend subscribe 就得。
得啦，呢度瞄咪得㗎啦。咁我哋咧而家咧就喺呢個 Space Server 呢個就係我教學啦。咁樣今日咧就會同佢哋。
幾核突？
同阿 Misaka Matuku 咧。
Mikoto。
得㗎啦，係唔 care 啦。一齊咧去起呢一個路軌去到呢個嘅。呢個嘅地獄要塞之後咧，就會起呢個 Blaze Farm， 即係呢個烈焰使者嘅 XP Farm。
係啦 ，Blaze Farm 唔預美琴啊！
咁樣咧，咁樣今集咧就會拍低我哋成個過程啦。咁樣中間就會快轉嘅。咁樣咧右手邊咧就之後咧就會播出呢個 Mambo Jumbo 嘅 Blaze Farm 嘅設計啦。咁樣我之後咧就會用到嘅。咁樣有冇咩其他要講？
冇啊，快啦！
咁我
記住，今日我個 channel。
其實基本上呢條路軌最大功勞都係我。
避開啦你。
關你咩事？
最大嘅。
因為我鋪咗個底線，所以佢哋先。
啊，係喎，真係多謝你啊！
哇，你好勁啊你！勁得滯。
啲路軌邊個供應㗎？你睇下邊，呢一個係。
啲路軌當然係啊，火柴人 copy 出嚟啦。
多9年都唔 up 片。
咁樣我哋咧嘅。
係咯，冇人睇嘅柴哥就係。
我哋嘅。咁樣咧，我哋就有呢個嘅 Rail Generator 啦。之前都會有條片，介紹過啦。咁樣個 link 咧就喺 description below 嘅。有啊。有咩？有㗎啦，係。
我唔信咯。我唔信咯。而家即刻俾條 link 我。
信就啱㗎啦，信者得救。
快啦，快啲入去起路啦，好冇
？OK，咁我預版未。
Mikoto。
Misaka Makoto 幾好聽啊，唔係咩？
阿美琴，你攞晒啲路軌俾人。
攞好晒啦，成個身爆晒啦。
得啦，我哋入去啦。
跟住點知個地獄門俾人封咗，永遠都出唔翻嚟，笑喊出嚟。
我見到有隻貓喎。
我幫你殺咗佢。
係喎。到。
叻機，你重入先。
叻死。
你重入啊！
得，冇問題。
因為我出咗去啊嘛，我出咗去啦。
OK， 等我。
得，我重入翻啊。
我見到我見到你兩個啦。咁樣因為事關要起好遠嘅關係咧，我哋已經準備到我哋所需嘅 cobblestone。係啊。係
啦，我提供㗎。
你提供
得擺撈面啊，幾好。
好似係誠意提供得最多。
睇呢個快。
你知佢哋一開始
頭先嗰個嘅。
好嘢。瞄咗咪，粗口嗰個瞄咗咪。
咁樣咧，我哋我攞咗少少路軌。咁樣我哋而家就開始快轉啦。咁樣大家就留意右手邊 Mambo Jumbo 嘅 Blaze Farm 嘅設計。哇！係咪有？哦。
喂，Kiyomi。
Lomi， 你拍翻輯真人版 Kiyomi 啦。咁我哋嘅。
我唔可以再講粗口噶啦。
咁我哋嘅路軌咧就喺呢一度啦，咁樣。咁我哋就想攞一個合成箱先。Lomi 你冇？我
有留低喺度。
喺度。
睇你用 head climb 嘅時候，我有留低。
咩？我邊有用 head climb？
講笑咧，我用啫，講笑咧。
咁我咧就
其實佢都已經快轉咗啦。
冇啊，我哋冇快轉。
係啊，冇快轉啊呢
位。
有快轉點會咁？
等我拆咗佢先。
咁樣，唔使。
冇帶普通路軌啊！
哦，我身上面有，我俾你。
喂， 啊好啊，你擺呢一格，你擺呢一格，擺我滿晒啦。
我有位，我有擺，我可以。
我哋設計咧就咁樣，兩格。
你放啦。
兩格高嘅石牆，然之後上面再擺呢個嘅。
Hello everyone, this is Mumbo here, welcome back, and today is episode 1 of my new series called Practical Skills Minecraft, and in this episode we're going to be taking a look at a simple blaze farm. Now before we start, with this being a pilot episode and all, I kinda need to get a gauge of whether or not you actually enjoy the thought of this series, so if you do, please remember to hit that like button, because generally that is a good representation of people enjoying the video. But I think that's enough of that. Now it's time to crack on with this blaze farm. Now I'm sure when I say the word blaze farm, you think of pistons, redstone flying everywhere, complex mechanisms, and generally just a large project, one that will probably put you off your survival world for a while. So what I've tried to do is simplify this right the way down and make it much easier to build. And obviously once you've finished it, you're going to reap the rewards, because for those of you who don't know, Blaze drop twice as much XP as standard mobs, so it's well within your best interest to build one of these. Now in my opinion, there are 3 different elements to this design. There is the spawning room, which you can see up here is represented by the stone bricks and the glass, and then down here is the funneling area, which will get your blaze into a 1x1 area, and then down at the bottom we have got the control circuits. That includes the crusher, the blaze stopper, and also the on-off switch for our lava lighting. So now that I've run you through that, I guess I should explain how it works, what game mechanics it runs on, and why it's an efficient farm. Now when building any kind of mob grinder using a mob cage, you have to take into account 3 different rules. You've got the escape area, the spawning area, and the activation area. Now the escape area is, in my opinion, the most important for making an efficient farm. This is where you want to get your mobs out of as fast as possible. Now in a lot of blaze farms I've seen in the past, they sort of have the blaze sitting around in this area, and that means that no others can come out of the mob spawner. So for that reason, in my design, I've just made it so they drop straight out of there, so the mob spawner can crack on and spawn a couple more of them, and that means that you get a very efficient farm. Now I will go into more detail in a little bit on how to do that. Now the next game rule is the spawning area. This is quite simply where your mobs can spawn, and it will dictate the size of your spawning room. If you make it too small, then the mobs are going to spawn on the outside, and that will be a bit crazy, and if you make it too big, then that will be a giant waste of space. Now the last rule is the activation area. This is where you have to be for your mob spawner to be active. If you're outside of a 16 block radius of the mob spawner, then it's not going to be spawning any mobs, and well, that'll be silly, won't it? Now because Blaze drop twice as much XP as regular mobs, it only takes 83 of them to get to level 30, so I'm going to do a quick test of how long it will take to get to level 30 with this farm, and then I'll give you the results when I come back. So it only took 14 minutes, 41 seconds to get 83 blaze. Now let's see if we can get up to level 30. A couple of them did die in the crusher, but let's give it a shot. So we just throw in our potion of harming, and there we go. They'll take all the damage, and then we'll be absolutely flooded with XP. Can't see anything. It's all floating around my head. Level 20, 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Oh, we almost got there. I'm sure there's only a couple more to go. But still, 14 minutes for almost level 30. That's pretty impressive. So now that I've explained how it all works and showed you it in action, I guess the only thing left to do is to crack on with the tutorial. So I'm going to give myself a blaze spawner, and then I'll see you in a bit. Now I'm going to straight away make the assumption that you have yourself a mob spawner. If not, then they're very easy to find. You can get them in nether fortresses, and they're not particularly difficult to find, so hopefully you can find one quite quickly. Now the first thing that you want to do when you find yourself a blaze spawner is to surround it in blocks, a 3x9x9 area with the mob spawner being in the center. Now I've used glass so you can see right in there, but you might want to use something like netherrack so it's very easy and fast to remove, because you're going to be doing that at the end. However, I would suggest marking out where your mob spawner is, because with an efficiency 5 pickaxe it's very easy to take out a mob spawner without noticing, and then you'll have one of these with nothing in it, which would be very frustrating. So the first thing that we're going to be working on is the spawning room, and thankfully because we have this 3x9x9 area, that pretty much depicts where it's going to go. You just want to add a block on either end. Now because I'm going to be doing the same aesthetics as the ones over here, I'm just going to put an edge of stone bricks around each of the sides, and then I'm going to take out these corners and then replace those with blocks here and go all the way up to the top, and then just put this layer of blocks here. And this is going to make up the size of the spawning room, and I'm going to do that all the way around so we get this glass cube with a stone brick rim. Now I'm going to do that, and I'll see you once that's done. So you should end up with 1 block depth up here and 1 block depth down below. Now one thing that is worth noting that I forgot to mention, these blocks on the outside edge, these are permanent. You're not going to be taking these out, so I would suggest putting in a block of your choice. I prefer glass because I like being able to see into my mob spawner, but you can use whatever you want. Anyway, now we're going to get on with the ceiling. You just want to fill in the entire upper area, so go above your block depth and just cover up this entire area here, and then you're going to take out the holes for your lava lighting. So we'll just do all of this first just to get that all done so you can get a good reference as to where these lava lighting holes go. And then you want to go 1 block inwards from the side and take that out. So 1 block inwards from the side, take it out, there and there. That's it done. We have now finished our spawning area, so we've got to get on with the funneling system. You just want to go 4 blocks down like that and just carry on that square going all the way around. So it's pretty much the same as last time, just a lot of block placing for the first couple of stages, but don't worry, it's going to get more technical in a little bit. But I'm going to get on with doing all this, and then I'll show you what it looks like once it's done. And this is where my design begins to differ from other people's, because we have got our blazes out of the activation area very quickly. It's all going to be very efficient. We really don't have to hurry them along when they're down here, because our mob spawner has stopped checking for them. It means it can spawn as many as it likes. It doesn't have a certain limit or a certain time limit, so we just have to place blocks going around like this and all the way around, and then make a 2 high drop. So we're just going to go all the way around there, and then we're going to be placing blocks underneath those as well. I'm going to be placing half slabs because I think they look the best, but I'm going to do that, and then we'll see what it looks like once it's done. So here it is. You should have something a bit like this. Now the next stage is pretty much do the same thing, just blocks around the edge, and then blocks going around like this. And then just make sure that it's a 2 high drop so the blazes can't get back up there. I'm sorry for saying blazes all the time. I keep saying it as if it's a plural. It's not. The plural for blaze is blaze. But yeah, we're just going to place the 2 high drop here. And that means that the blaze will kind of go down here, stand there for a bit. They can't get back up here. And then eventually they'll fall off into this area. And this is where we're going to get our piston funnel going. Oh dear. And for our piston funnel, yep, you guessed it, we have to place blocks around like this in a 3x3 sort of area, missing out the middle block. Then you want to place pressure plates all the way around here, and now you just want to take out these blocks and place sticky pistons here and here, sticky pistons there, there, and finally there, and then replace those blocks, and that will create your full scale 3x3. Then go up behind the sticky pistons. Down here is where your pressure plates are, so you just want to place blocks like this, 1 out like that, go a block along, a block up like this, block here, and then 2 blocks there, and just fill in all of that redstone. So you just go all the way across, up, and across here, and then you should see, if we get into our piston funnel, that when you drop down onto those pressure plates, you'll get pushed off into the next part, and then these piston pushers would push you across and you'd fall down the hole. So now we're going to repeat that for each one of our pistons. Once again, starting from behind the sticky piston, you go block like this, then go 3 blocks along, block up again, and then another block there with your redstone dust on top. that will connect then to your pistons. So there we go. So I assume that you've learned that by now. If not, then just rewind the video and watch that part again. But I'm going to repeat that same thing for the other 2 sets of pistons, and then we'll see what it looks like once it's done. And believe it or not, that is your piston funneling system done. That is pretty much the entire Blaze farm done. Now you just have to do the control circuits, but we'll give it a quick tester before we start. There we go, straight down the hole. It's very quick and very easy, so all you have to do is build a little tunnel that you want your blazes to fall down. That can be as long or as short as possible. Well, there is a certain limit, you couldn't exactly have it up here, but yeah, you just want to get them down to a certain area where you want to kill them. Right, so now that we've got our killing chamber, there's a couple of things you need to do. You need to mark out where your crusher block is going to go. That is 1 block above the floor level, and then above that, that is where your holding piston is going to go. So then just go round the black and place your 2 pistons. So that is 1 piston right there, facing in this direction. Quite hard to place. And then 1 piston here facing in that direction. Then go back round the front, and this block here needs to be a transparent block, so I'm going to be using glass because it looks pretty good. So for your blaze crusher, we're going to be using my tiny blaze crusher that I showed in a quickie the other day. If you haven't seen that, then there will be an annotation on the screen, but I'm going to do a tutorial for it right now. So you just want to place your wooden button there. Has to be wooden button because they give a longer pulse length. Then you want to place redstone dust, a repeater here, and then a block next to that piston. Go 3 blocks along like this and place a block up there, and then you just want to place redstone dust. Sorry, that's meant to be a comparator here, so 3 comparators long, then a block up like that, redstone dust here, and then blocks along there, and more comparators running across into that block there. And then you just want to go block, carry these all the way along into this piston, redstone dust here, repeater, set it to 4 ticks, a block there, and then 2 more repeaters, set both of them to 4 ticks. That will give you the ideal pulse length to kill your blaze. So for your holding piston, you want to place a lever there, take out these 2 blocks and place redstone dust, a block, redstone dust there, block up like this, and then a half slab next to that piston. It has to be a half slab or glowstone because otherwise the piston below it will extend and that will kill all the blaze. So then you want to just carry out that redstone, and you'll see that only this top piston extends, and that will stop the blazes from jumping up and down and also stop any more from flowing in. Now, because all of our wiring is going on this side, I have put in this dividing wall just to make it look a little bit prettier, because if you're going to be spending this much time on it, you might as well make sure it looks good. Now, down here is where we're going to be placing our button to activate and deactivate the lava lighting. If you're not going to be putting in that wall, then you're going to have some way of placing that elsewhere. God knows where. You've all got different designs, but this is where mine's going to be going. Now, activating and deactivating your lava lighting is pretty cool, but you want some way to tell if it's on or off, because from all the way down here, you really can't see into the blaze spawner. So it could be on, you could be AFKing, and then no blazes spawning because the lava is on. So we're going to have a little bit of a demonstration. You just want to carry out a line of blocks all the way to the end here, and then place a block up like that. You want to place a repeater, redstone dust here and here, and then another repeater like that with a block up here to stop these 2 pieces of redstone dust canoodling. From there, you want to place 2 blocks like this, redstone and a repeater, replace this redstone with another repeater, then you're going to work on your T flip-flop. So you want to place a dropper facing upwards, a dropper facing across, and then another dropper running into this dropper here with a hopper running into the top. Then you just want to place any old item into there. I'm going to use a blaze rod because you're going to have loads of those by the end of that. And then you just want to place a block down here with a comparator running into that. Now you should see when we hit this button here, we will get ourselves an on, and when we hit it again, we'll get ourselves an off. It's just a nice little touch. But from here, you just want to place redstone dust, a block, and then redstone torch, and we're going to do our torch tower. Now this is going to go right the way up to the top of our blaze spawner, so you just want to carry that all the way, right the way up. It uses quite a lot of blocks and quite a lot of torches, but it is what will activate and deactivate our lava lighting, which we both know looks pretty awesome. Now I just want to make it clear that the reason that we use lava lighting instead of redstone lamps is because blaze actually spawn in fairly high light levels. They are very versatile, whereas with zombie spawners and things like that, you can just place torches around and that will stop the spawning. With Blaze, it doesn't really work like that. It has to be light level 12 or above, which is quite high. So for that reason, we drop lava down, and that means it gives a constant light level 15 all the way down, which will light up our entire spawning area. So it makes much more sense to do that rather than using the lava. And I just lost my dispenser, damn it. And over each of your holes, you just want to place dispensers facing downwards and put your lava bucket in there. And just repeat that same thing for each of those. So just dispenser, lava bucket, and dispenser, lava bucket. Now the reason that we have got ourselves a 1 block high gap like this here, so we've got it coming out into here, is so that the lava doesn't spread outwards and cover the entire area, which can happen, and that would make it pretty useless. The lava would take absolutely ages to clear, even in the nether, so we do it a bit like this. To wire up the dispensers, you just want to create a sort of loose H shape, and then you just want to place blocks along like this, redstone dust running all the way across. Your top torch should be off. If not, then you've probably done the torch tower a little bit wrong, but don't fret, I'm sure it will work fine. And then you just place a block there, and redstone dust will be powered, and your dispensers will fire the lava. Now obviously, do not test this yet, because your blocks are still within this area, and if you do test it, then it will just flood this entire upper area, and you'll have to do all that clearing, which is no fun, I can promise you. Now a quick thing that is worth mentioning that I actually made a mistake on, you need to put a little hole in this bottom layer here, this middle section here, just a little hole on either side. That is where your lava is going to flow into. It would appear that I put a block in front of where that dispenser should be, but yep, your lava will then flow down and go into each of these rather than spreading into this area, which will mean that basically it will give off a lot of light, it will take ages to go away, and it just doesn't look very good. So hole in each of the corners, and that is where your lava will go. Okay, so now I believe you are entirely done, so you just have to get on inside there, brave it, and take out all those blocks that you placed around the spawner. Get to work. Blazes will start spawning almost immediately, it's inevitable. I would suggest taking a fire resistance potion, but good luck on that one. One thing that is worth mentioning that I don't think I have just yet is leave a block on top of the spawner. That will stop a blaze from spawning on top of your mob spawner. That would drastically lower the rates because it won't walk off the edge and it won't go down into the funneling system, so you'll always have a blaze up there until of course it despawns. But there we go, all of the blocks have been removed. Now just as a quick thing to mention, you can't AFK down at this area. You're too low, you won't load the mob spawner, so you have to be in and around this area. Within a 16 block radius, you can see if I go outside of that, then this turns off, the flames go away and it won't spawn any. But as soon as I go inside, the flames come on and that means that it's ready to spawn blaze. Now let's give each of our elements a quick test to see if they're working well. First off, our lava lighting, so we hit that button, the light has come on, so that would suggest that the lava is flowing down, and yes it is, so that is going to deactivate the mob spawner. No more blaze can spawn while those are down there, which is really good. Now let's turn that off so that we can get a couple of blaze going. We'll do that, and hopefully a few blaze spawn quite quickly. There it is. The blaze funneling area also seems to be working like a charm because we already have a couple of blaze in here. So let's give our stopper a go. That will stop them from jumping up and down. That's perfect. And then this button here is our crusher. It will also stop other blaze from throwing in. So here we go. They are getting crushed. They should go down to half a heart, so we can kill each of them in one punch. Or if we're rich, we can use the potions of harming, and that will kill all of them at once so we can get all that XP. But there we go. Dead and dead. Take a look at that. And there we have it, folks. You have built yourself a Blaze XP farm, and it wasn't really that hard, was it? I mean, this video took absolutely ages to make. It's been a very long time recording. It's probably one of my longest tutorials ever, but I just wanted to get a lot of in-depth information in there, and hopefully it's helped you out. But if you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button. If you enjoy the thought of this series, make sure to comment that in the comment section down below. And if you really did love this video and the time put in, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.
如果中意我影
唔
嘅話咧，就可以撳上。
2500，
咁樣就可以撳上面訂閱，撳下邊喜歡，隨時跟蹤我
15,000啊！
隨時跟蹤我影片動態。大家都可以下邊留個 comments 留言啦，覺得今次阿美琴有少少 on X 啦。咁樣係咯，今集係啦，今次我哋玩 Space。哦，
係咯。
shit。喂，跟住我係得啦。咁樣今集係咁多啦，係臨尾都仲要嚟打亂入，拜拜。好 stop。
你歌唔夠我唱得好聽下。
睇小雨，阿美你做乜喺 server 啊？我要過你屋企偷。
加油啦你！
自己得翻一格血就唔好跳啦嘛，一跳自己打死自己。
阿美不停咁喺度 LL。
佢咪喺度笑緊我。
有咩人發到 Lomi at Space Studio 嘅 Minecraft YouTube channel？ 哇，好成功！
我又俾你2炸咗落街。
我呢句咪錄得好好咧。我中意學人哋嗰啲 OP 咩？我中意美嗰個。Hello， 大家好，歡迎翻到嚟由 Space Studio 呈現美哥玩咩 Space Server 嗰啲咁嘅東西。
講到你搞到美哥咧，好似啲
基佬。我覺得俾人鬧，話個基佬啊。
Oh shit！ 係擊飛啊！
有咩？
係 OC， 係 OC。
再有冇人有食物啊？我冇食物啊！我啲雞全部唔見晒。我的小雞雞不見啊！真慘。
呢個一定要幫你。
我的 cooked chicken is gone。OK。
cooked
chicken。我明解。你個 chicken。
撈麵。
咩啊？